hype. We're talking hype today. Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Today we're talking designer fragrances that have been hyped that are actually worth the price they go for. So these are fragrances that I would say are worth every penny in spite of, or maybe because of the hype. Probably do a follow-up a little bit later on with hyped fragrances that I don't think are worth the money, but let's keep it positive right now. I have all of them linked down below as always, and I also have these codes as always. So yeah, there are some codes. Now I'm doing no particular order here, so I'm not saying that number one or the last one that I feature is the one that's the most worth it, and the first one I mentioned is the least worth it. They're all worth it. And you know what? You're worth it. Yes, you're worth it. I hope you're having an okay day. If you're not, it'll get better, man. It'll get better later on at some point. All right, they're all down here below. Let's just grab one and throw it into the sky. A really bad idea, but it's kind of fun. Okay. Ooh. Womo Signature from Ferragamo starts us off this time. Now, this fragrance you can get for a good price online, and that's one of the reasons that I do think it's worth every penny. It's not too expensive. There was a bit of a scare with this one where you couldn't find it for a while and the price was starting to creep up ever so slightly higher and higher. But right now you can find it, and as long as you can find it for a price around 40 bucks, even 50 bucks, I think it is easily worth it. This thing has great performance, it projects well, it lasts forever. It's a surprising kind of under the radar compliment puller, because with this one, you know, most people are not going to compare this to the compliment monstrosity of a Y Eau de Parfum or a Dior Sauvage or something like that. But in the right situations, this can hang with those as far as getting positive attention. Again, it doesn't hurt that it's got pretty good performance, so people are going to pick it up easily, but it has this really appealing sweet coffee kind of scent profile that helps you stand apart from the crowd a bit. You know, as far as designer fragrances goes, it's a pretty unique one. There's a lot to love about Womo Signature. This one is more a hype product of the fragrance community, if you want to call it that. Not necessarily just people in general, but that can work to your advantage because, again, for your average person, kind of a hidden gem. All right, let's toss something else. Ooh. Dylan Blue from Versace. That's the correct Italian pronunciation, Versace. I am not being serious. I know there's somebody like typing of a storm right now. Actually, you idiot, that's not correct. Versace, and that's not correct either. But Dylan Blue is also pretty affordable from fragrance discounters. And this one I have thought is a really solid buy for quite a long while because it does blue fragrances really well. It has year-round usability because it has that bit of incense in there, as I've said a billion times, that gives it this little smokiness. It gives it a little more body, so during winter it works really well. Then it has that really nice fresh opening, that citrus opening that so many blue fragrances utilize. It has ambroxan in there done in a similar fashion with some of the other blue fragrances out there. And it does have good complement factor, which is important for most people if they're buying a blue fragrance because they do want it to smell appealing to other people. This does all of that. It also gives you a fragrance from a house, Versace, that everybody's going to recognize, and for the price point, it's a big win. So even though this is sort of a whipping boy of a blue fragrance where a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, this is like a second-class citizen blue fragrance, I think for the price point that this gets the job done just as well as just about anything else out there. Just. Okay, here we go. We got Artisan Pure, Barbados. Really good price on this one, really good. You can get this for about 30 bucks online. That's for a 4.2 ounce size bottle. So at that price point, man, you are paying very, very little, like 25 cents per milliliter. And yet the fragrance smells like anything but a cheapy. I actually have a couple bottles of this. Woo. Yeah, that smells kicking. I really like it. I know some people over the years have said that it got hyped up too much, that it's not as good as the hype would lead you to believe. But again, for this price point, I think it blows it out of the water. It's got a very smooth citrus opening, a bit of sweetness in there, very fresh, not like super zingy. It's more so calm, cool, and collected, you know, like a very classy citrus opening. Perfect for summer, great daytime fragrance, and huge versatility in the higher heat months. this is good stuff. And not that it's really important at the end of the day, I guess, but the presentation looks sick. My wife has had friends over before that have like checked out the collection, of course, and I can't tell you how many times they've just like honed in on Barbados bottles. Like you got hundreds and hundreds and thousands of fragrances around, and all the different Barbados bottles, like with their different looks, just immediately get all the attention. So that's not really important when it comes to the fragrance, but it's nice that they put some detail here. Let's go with another one. Whoa, shouldn't have done that. My Peyton Manning bottle of Invictus Victory. You see the resemblance? Love you, Peyton. Invictus Victory, you can get this for about 60 bucks at discounters for a 50 ml size bottle. So it's not the cheapest thing here at all, but it smells awesome. Awesome, it's so good. I mean, it's my style of fragrance, like this sort of very bubbly vanilla, you know, this sweet vanilla with some like darkness around the edges that doesn't really take it into difficult to wear territory. I love that stuff, man. I really think that it's gotten to the point that for me on a personal level, like how much I like to wear them, that I would just about give Invictus Victory and Victory Elixir like a 10 out of 10 as far as just how appealing they are to me at the price point you can get them at. That is absurd. Invictus, I'm your biggest fan now. From your biggest hater to your biggest fan. And I can tell you what, the bit of a similarity that this has to Pure Excess, which is another fragrance that I really enjoy, doesn't hurt. So Invictus Victory, I think it's worth every penny. Oh, Light Blue Forever, hello. Light Blue Forever you can get for very cheap nowadays at discounters. Well, very cheap relative to what it cost at full retail. It's around, I think, $35, $40 in that price range. Now, I will tell you guys that Light Blue Forever is not gonna be for everybody out there. It's for me though. It's grapefruit on top of grapefruit when you spray it on. It's a little tart, it's bitter, a little sour, also sweet, very fresh, extremely zesty. I like it. Now this one is more so than a lot of the other light blue flankers or light blue fragrances in general, going to be potentially divisive. And it does boil down to that opening, to the grapefruit in the opening. Because some people will spray this, they'll get hit by that big grapefruit and be like, why do I want to smell like grapefruit? I don't want it. Whereas like when I smell it, when my wife smells it, it's just instant love because it reminds you of summer, like being outside and squeezing a grapefruit, just having that like burst of juice fly up out of it. You know, almost like in a commercial where they squeeze the citrus and that's what this is in the opening. Now when it dries down, that grapefruit, you know, kind of fades away and you get a nice clean woodiness in there, which I think is still really well done, smells extremely pleasant, but that opening of this is just, I love it. But be aware, it may not be for you, and if you don't like that grapefruit, that is a-okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, I already know what this is, but it's still getting thrown. Oh, it's Lamal Parfum, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and Lamal Elixir. The new one is just out of control. I absolutely adore that one, but I still want to throw some more love to this one. This is just a great reimagining of the original. Modernized, made a bit darker, a bit sexier, given an iris backing, wonderful spiciness in there, kind of a warm, almost dusty spiciness mixing together with that vanilla, with the lavender. This one to me is just a perfectly done flanker. I don't know how much better they could have done this. I know Elixir came after and kind of like Elixir more, but Elixir would not be here without this and the success of this. And we go next to Explorer from Montblanc. Now, when this first came out, I would have told you it is not worth every penny. At retail, I don't think that you should really go for this one. But for the price that this goes for now at discounters, it is worth every penny. Because with this fragrance, you get something that you can use anytime, anywhere, any place, and people are gonna like it. Yes, it smells similar to Creed Aventus, but guess what? You can wear Creed Aventus anytime, any place, anywhere, and people are gonna like it. Except it costs like 10 times what this one does. So there's that, if we're talking about discounted prices. Explorer basically can be a Swiss Army knife in everybody's collection. And I think that for the price point, as I said, that it goes for, it's a great buy. Even though when it first came out, I was not too impressed at full retail. But with it going for, I think like a third what I paid for it originally, yeah, much better buy. Next one. is Legend Spirit, also from Montblanc. Again, the price is cheap, it's affordable. Smells similar to Invictus Aqua. This is one that you can get for around $30. Actually, I think under $30 if you get the 50 mil. You know, at that price, that's just giving it away. It's got bergamot, lavender, and aquatic notes. Obviously smelling like Invictus Aqua. It should have those notes. It's got a good sweetness to it, sort of that bubble gummy sweetness that doesn't go so far down the sweet side that it becomes kind of syrupy and cloying. Easy to wear during spring and summer, really versatile. The Legend line in general is a really good line of fragrances if you're looking for something that has good quality at a good price from a brand that people know, or that most people know. Okay, next we have, the Most Wanted Parfum. This one I think is gonna be the most expensive one here if we're talking discounted prices. I've seen it going for about $85, I think, at Joma Shop. I don't know if that's like the price that it goes for all the time. It said it was their back to school sale as of when I was filming this, but yeah, it probably is just that price, and then whatever they're doing at the time, it says whatever sale, Valentine's sale, back to school sale, St. Patrick's Day sale, July 4th sale, Labor Day sale, Memorial Day sale. You get it. Wonderful fragrance though. This stuff is really nice. Whew. It's sort of in that, you know, Stronger With You family, that kind of Stronger With You style that we see across so many different fragrances nowadays. Stronger With You has become the new Invictus. Sort of. Yeah, it kind of has, hasn't it? Because Invictus came out and then you started to see Invictus style fragrances cropping up everywhere, and then Stronger With You came out, same thing. Stronger With You is the new Invictus, confirmed. Thankfully, I like Stronger With You more. Other than you, you're good. And your brother Elixir. So this has that sweetness, good amount of warmth, kind of a smoky woodiness here also. The original, The Most Wanted, very good as well. Wanted by Night, very good as well. All three of those, I think, worth every penny. So even though this is expensive at discounters relative to most of these others, it is newer, and I think that even at full retail, this is worth every penny. People love it too. Huge compliment puller. We got two left here. So next one is, that did a little weird kind of spin there. Cool Water, the original, crazy cheap. Crazy cheap. You can find that for under 20 bucks. So at that price point, it's basically available to anybody. You know, just about anyone can afford that if you're looking for a fragrance. Whew. I love it. I'm a fan though of Green Irish Tweed, and this was done by the same perfumer, Pierre Bourdon, and it's very similar to Green Irish Tweed, only much more affordable, much more accessible. When you look at the note breakdown for it, it is massive, as is the norm for fragrances released around this time frame. And you may look at that note breakdown and be like, wait, what? I don't think, is all that in here? Are you sure? But that doesn't really matter. It's a green fragrance. It's very clean, fresh, soapy, brisk, and smells classy. I know Cool Water has been around for a while, and a lot of people have worn this over the years, but it is still worth it. At that price, under 20 bucks, man, it's a great buy. Last one, I won't throw it. It's Coach for Men. Just because I've thrown all these, my luck will run out, I'll break this one. So Coach for Men, very affordable, and kind of like Dylan Blue, it's that type of fragrance that you wear whenever you want, wherever you want. Now, if this were much more expensive, would I say it's worth every penny? I would not, but at the price point you can pick it up for, at discounters, it is. Nice fruity opening, little sweet and fresh. Got like a little tiny tartness to it, not too much, just gives it more of an interesting complexity off the top. Some people, you know, may say that it's generic or boring or whatever, but I think that really what this is made for, it does extremely well. It's a compliment puller. It's easy to wear. It doesn't cost much. It comes from a name that people know. All these things do matter at the end of the day. The presentation looks nice. You know, it doesn't look cheap and slapped together. And I enjoy it. I think it smells really pleasant. So for the price point, it's a win-win. You know, it's not gonna cost you that much, but you can get a ton of use out of it. So even if some people label it generic, I think that all those things put together, it's a really compelling package. So here we go, 12 fragrances. And I almost forgot, the last one, number 12, it is Sauvage Elixir, and I did throw that one. So I guess that's actually the most expensive one, isn't it? It's not the most wanted, it's that one. Sauvage Elixir, yes, crazy hyped. Pretty freaking expensive too for a designer fragrance, but it does give you amazing performance. This stuff lasts forever. It will choke out your friends and your enemies alike. It'll choke you out too if you spray too much. I think it smells great. I mean, you know, it's got that throwback little bit Dracar Noir to it kind of feel. Ultra classy. just like almost the epitome of a modern designer fragrance in terms of classiness. The pinnacle, I should say. Up there with some of the Tom Fords. Wonderful scent, completely different than the other Sauvage fragrances, but this is worth every penny for sure. So there we go, 12 fragrances that got a good amount of hype. Some a little more than others, but still, all of these a little bit of a hype beast, and I think they're worth it. Let me know in the comments a hyped up fragrance that you think is absolutely worth every penny. We'll tackle some that aren't worth it in the future, like I said. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.